Good morning. Welcome. We are on the second half of 1 Nephi chapter 8 today. So yesterday we went over what he saw in his dream and kind of the symbolism behind that, and we'll go deeper into that in the future. Today we're going to talk about more about what he saw in his dream. So we're going to start here in standing. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale here and exhale. This time we're going to do longer breaths, so inhale for 4 counts. Ready? Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. That should keep your breath nice and warm. So keep that flow, keep breathing really slowly and just welcome all that yummy air into that body, into your lungs and your belly. Feel free to just expand both and exhale it out. Inhale and exhale. As we're here, why don't we just bring our arms out in front and stretch those shoulder blades down and forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale here. On our exhale, we're going to bring our arms back to the back. Lift up that chest just a little bit. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You can kind of keep that flow going. Palms can be out or in, and bring them back. Just begin to move. So yesterday, he saw in his dream a tree, the fruit. See if I can remember all these. Tree, fruit, river, rod of iron, mist of darkness, and the great and spacious building. I had a lot of fun doing yoga poses with those, just so you know. I always like tying things in like that. I think it's fun. Okay. All right. We're going to step our legs wide, and our toes are going to be at a 45-degree angle on each side. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale here. And exhale, we're just going to bend our knees outward. Go as low as you need to. You don't have to go crazy. Feel your body. Feel your hips. We're just waking up. So feel free to just even bounce in between some deeper stretches. Open those hips and you can come right back out of it and then go right back into it. Whatever feels good for your body. You can sway side to side. So we're going to start in verse 24. And they talk about 4 groups that he now sees in his dream. 4 groups that go certain places that we'll talk about. So the first group, they just don't even notice the rod. They just go right straight to the big and spacious building and start mocking and pointing. A lot of them float away into the river because the river's dividing that rod and the building, right? So a lot of them fall away into the river. Some just go straight to the building and don't even touch the rod. Okay, from here we're going to bring our legs back up. This time we're going to bring our toes straight towards the wall in front of you. So it's going to be perpendicular to like the edge of my mat. See how my foot is perpendicular to the edge of that mat. We're going to lift. We're not going to lift. We're going to bend the right knee first, and we're just going to come into kind of a side lunge. You can go as low or as high as you want. You feel that. There's a second group that goes onto the rod. They kind of walk along the rod a little bit and eventually kind of scatter away from the rod towards the great and spacious building. So they started out great, and then eventually they just kind of fade away. Come back up to center, other side, bending that left knee. The third and fourth group is what we're going to talk about most. The third group comes to the rod of iron. And I'm going to read this, verse 24. And it came to pass that I beheld others pressing forward, and they came forth and caught hold of the end of the rod of iron. They did press through the midst of darkness, clinging to the rod of iron, even until they did come forth and partake of the fruit of the tree. And after they had partaken of the fruit, they did cast their eyes round about, as if they were ashamed. Come back up to center. This time we're just going to bend at our hips, doing a wide forward fold. So come all the way down. You can bring your hands to the ground. You can bring your hands to the outer edges of your feet. You can also bring your hands back behind your calves if you would like to kind of pull your chest in towards your legs for an even deeper stretch. Wherever you want to go is great. So they grab a hold of the iron, they make it to the end, they get the fruit, and then they feel ashamed or embarrassed that they ate the fruit. Then the fourth group, after they eat the fruit, then they feel ashamed, which I think is so interesting because after we are baptized, that's when the true test of life comes. That's when that's what matters, right? So then, in verse 30, the fourth group, it says, But to be short in writing, behold, he saw other multitudes. They did press their way forth, continually holding fast to the iron of rod until they came forth and fell down and partook of the fruit of the tree. So from here, we're going to bring our hands to center on the ground, palms are on the ground. And then we're just going to lift our right hand all the way up to the sky in a gentle twist. The difference between the third and fourth people, right? The first, they held onto the rod, they clung to the rod, they ate the fruit, and then they felt ashamed. The fourth group held fast, continually holding fast to the iron. They came forth and then fell down and partook of the tree. And I really wondered what the difference was between that and the last group. Why did they fall down? Other side, bring your left arm up. Why did they fall down? And in chapter 11, it talks a little bit about how the tree is a symbolism of Christ or Christ's love. And it kind of made me think of maybe like falling down in gratitude or falling down at his feet. Because they knew him, right? Like there's a relationship there. After continually holding fast to the iron rod, bring that arm down. This time, both of our legs, we're just going to kind of jump or step. You can heel toe towards the center or kind of step your feet to the center. Left palm down on the ground. Left foot down on the ground. Right palm down on the ground. I'm just going to use kind of my fingertips and bring that right leg all the way up, just like this. So they fell down at the feet of Christ. Basically, they fell down at the tree and partook of the tree and partook of the fruit. How cool is that? And then on Sunday, last Sunday, we had a really exciting meeting, and they talked about what the difference is between all these things that we do with our family and our personal life. Bring that foot down, other side. and that our church life and our community life, all these things that we do, what is the difference between doing them in Christ and doing them normally without Christ? And doing them with Christ, it really brought this together for me, because when we do things in Christ, we know him, we get to know him, and we get to form this relationship with him when we include him in everything that we do, so that at the end we really do fall down at his feet and say, I knew you, I know you, I studied you, you've been with me through everything. Bring that leg down, bring our feet a little bit wider. Our toes again are going to come out at a 45-degree angle. We're going to bend our knees and come into kind of a yogi squat. Our elbows are going to come out in our inner thighs, not the knee. We're not going to press on our knee, on the inner thighs. And we're just going to kind of sway here. It's a really big hip awakener. So if you need to take it slow, go ahead. But they knew him. They fell down at his feet and said, you have been with me through everything. And there you are. It just gives me chills. And I love that he included that they fell down at his feet, basically. And then he talks about how people after people come to this route or don't, and their journey, and what he sees. And many had fallen away. And then he saw Laman and Lemuel and how they did not partake of the fruit. And he feared for them. He was sad for them. And he really wanted them to be in the presence of the Lord. And he felt like a tender parent. He hearkened to the words that perhaps the Lord might be merciful, and maybe not cast them off. Maybe they can be together. And I think many times we can relate to that, you know. We can relate to a lot of people around us or situations around us that might not bring Christ into it. And it does. It kind of makes us sad, and it feels like something's missing, doesn't it? Bring your hands back down. Slowly lift those hips. Heel toe your legs into the center, and we'll just come back down right here. Kind of counteract those wide hips a little bit by bringing them together. And we'll just end here. That's where the chapter ends. He talks to Laman and Lemuel a little bit and tries to teach them more about Christ. And that's where it ends. So inhale here and exhale. The light in me honors and loves the light within you. Namaste.